What's going on, guys? My name's Finn, and I'd like to welcome you to the channel. A little bit of an introduction. I pretty much just like to do car stuff. There's other stuff I like to do as well, but anything car related, that's me. And my goal is to show you that it is possible for anybody to get it done. Even if you don't have the proper equipment, you don't need the fancy stuff, you know. I might have a little bit of a shop now, but I didn't always start there. And a lot of the stuff that I do, I still do it on the floor, just out of habit, you know. Pretty much just want to give other enthusiasts a chance out there who might be stuck or just want some guidance, you know, to get into this awesome world of cars. You know, it's pretty great out here. You should give it a try. This right here is my beast. This is a 2005 BMW 330. I got it from one of my good buddies as an automatic. Unfortunately, I'm joking. I just had to do a little bit of work to do a manual swap, so I've done the full manual swap. Unfortunately, ran into a lot of bugs along the way. A lot of transmissions along the way. Bad transmission, the auto. And then this transmission, we're going to put that in today. And then a couple other things that need to be done on the car, i.e. the transmission that's in there now. Unfortunately, it was a bad transmission when I got it. It was snapped off at the mounting points. Good buddy of mine ended up picking up the transmission, welding on some new little brackets, and it worked out for a track day. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of a leak from the drain plug, so put a little bit of sealant on it just to make sure I can drift. That's pretty much all my goal was. And then ran into a leak in between the engine and the transmission. So I'm going to go ahead and replace my rear main seal today as well. And then pretty much just clean everything up just to make sure there's no oil leaking. Everything's pretty much buttoned up and cleaned up. It's not a show car, but at the end of the day, you got to take care of your build to make sure you're staying on the track more than you're off the track. Who wants to go to a track day just to stay in the pits, you know? So I like to party. I like to party with my friends. My job is to make sure my car can do that. So hopefully I can give you some guidance and show you the proper way, or even if it's not the proper way, the easiest way to get it done with the minimal things. Go ahead and get started with it. First thing we got to do, drop the exhaust. The exhaust is just in the way of everything we got to do. We got to drop this big boy. The way I go about it, I drop it in one piece by two 13mm nuts right up in there. Another two on this side, right up in there. Then we're gonna come down to the headers. I don't know what size yours are. Don't quote me on mine because I picked these up from Ace. These are 13mm right here. Come back over here, do these last. Why? It holds the exhaust up. The exhaust is very awkward and heavy. The awkwardness makes it that much heavier. 13mm drops. Just be prepared before you get to those. The way that I go about it, because I do it by myself, I'll lower the car down, get two jack stands, rest them on the exhaust, then take out the four 13mm bolts. From there, the exhaust will drop down. I'll just drag it out. You can roll it out, do whatever you need to do to remove the exhaust, but the exhaust has to come down. And there we are. The exhaust is resting on the jack stands. We're going to go ahead and move that out the way. But we need these three nut and bolts connected to the drive shaft. It's connected to this little thing right here. We call this a guibo or a flex disc, whatever you'd like to call it. It's just those three bolts right there. You don't need to touch these ones that connect the guibo to the actual transmission. Just the bolts that connect the guibo to the drive shaft. Then we're going to remove these two bolts right here, nuts, sorry, and just move it to the side. We're not going to do anything else. We're not going to take it out from the diff. That's not needed. You don't need to do that. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with this, and I'll get back with you. The drive shaft has been removed from the transmission. I went ahead and removed the 4 13mm bolts that hold the transmission up, just due to there are bolts that you need that connect that are just impossible to get to with it right there. I mean, they're not entirely impossible. I'm just trying to show you the easiest way to get it done. Because if not, you're fighting all this clearance issue right here. And with the transmission up, like, forget about it. But down here, look how much easier that is. It's a night and day difference. Save yourself the time and if you need just that little bit of reassurance, put the jack back there just to hold it. I don't do that. I always leave the 2 main stud E-Torx bolts just to hold it until I get to my next step, which is lowering the car back down and tilting the engine. You're gonna need the engine tilted. It just gets in the way. The body of the car does not want the transmission to drop out. I don't know why. You're gonna have to tilt that engine. So when I get to that step, I'll get back with you. Quick thing I wanted to stress, guys. As you can see, I am up here on one of the starter bolts right there. Please make sure you are all the way seated on the Torx bolt before you begin trying to break that torque. Don't strip it. That is a very bad time. If you do what I told you, look how easy this is. Look how much clearance you have right here to see everything that you need to see up there. And to get all those bolts removed and just to make it that much easier. So just remember, please make sure it's seated properly. You do not want one of these to strip. Bad time. Trust me, bad time. All right, so I have the engine propped up in the front with a jack stand just to give me that extra help I needed with keeping this transmission tilted back. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go ahead and remove the slave cylinder right here just to get that out the way. You can do it in any steps of the process. I just wait till last just because I don't want it dangling all in my way. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now and shimmy this transmission out. Please don't forget, I know I didn't mention it before, on the passenger side of the transmission, right up in here, there's a little 10mm bolt that goes to the dust shield. Please do not forget that. That will prevent you from separating the engine from the transmission from the engine, vice versa, tomato. So I'm gonna get this going, and yeah, I'll see you when I'm done. Transmission has been removed. So next up, I need to remove all 6 of these bolts right here in order to remove the clutch, just to be able to get to our rear main seal. So we go ahead and get that done. Make sure before you begin this job, if you don't have a new clutch and you're reusing the clutch, you have a clutch tool. If you don't have a clutch tool, just have a way in order to get the clutch back aligned. You have to have the clutch back aligned in order to get the transmission to seat properly. Please don't run into the problem where you remove the clutch and now you can't get it back in. So I went ahead and removed the clutch, removed the 8 19mm bolts that was holding in the flywheel. As you can see, it's just all messy in here. You know, this is not what we want. We want an engine that's completely sealed. There's no oil leaking out. We know BMWs are known for that. We do not want no smearage, no oil on our clutch, flywheel, nothing. So I went ahead and picked up a kit from FCP Euro. It's the full kit, so it comes with everything you need except for this. Go ahead and pick you up some Ultra Copper Permatex, just to put over into these little corners right here, just to make sure that it is extra sealed. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that taken off and show you what it looks like. Went ahead and removed the rear main seal. As you can see, the gasket is completely just one with the back of this engine right here. So it was time to get replaced anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep on cleaning up back here and do my best to get all of this off. Please remove all of this previous gasket from here. You wanna ensure that you get a nice tight seal when putting in that new rear main seal. So let me get that cleaned up and we'll get back to it. And there we are, we got the gasket on there. We're gonna go ahead and get some Permatex added to the plate, just down in this little corners right here, just to ensure we get a nice seal. I'm not gonna keep boring you guys, so let's get that done.
And here we are, fresh rear main seal on, Permatex on. I decided to go all the way across. Won't really hurt anything. Going to go ahead and do everything back in reverse order. I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now and just jump to it instead of going through it. Put the flywheel on, 8 19mm bolts. Then from there, you're going to line the clutch, put the clutch back on. Then from there, it's money. You just got to put your transmission back in, slave cylinder, drive shaft, exhaust, you know. But if you have problems, just go back to the beginning of the video or leave a comment down below and I'll do an in-depth video of how to do all this. So just let me know.
All right, everybody. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up for today. I went ahead and got the transmission, everything pretty much in, everything buttoned up. All I have to do tomorrow is put the exhaust in and go over one more time. But yeah, for the most part, you know, very straightforward. Not too much of a hard job, just takes time and knowing how to finesse around, you know, tight spaces. But hopefully I was able to show you. And if I wasn't, just ask and I will be able to show you. So yeah, we'll get back to it tomorrow. All right, everybody, so I'm all finished, you know. It wasn't that bad of a job. I mean, it might have taken me more than a day, but that's just due to time. But the car is all squared away. I know it's a little bit dirty right now. That's okay. I'm gonna have it packed up. Going drifting tomorrow for the Southern Maryland Drift event. Pretty excited about that. Gonna meet a lot of homies. Hopefully get some good laps in. Maybe some snow drifting. So yeah, pretty excited. So hopefully it's a great day. See you then.